Well, as promised before the break, I told you that Mr. Tulsian is going to give us 4 ideas today. He gave us one already, but what are the other 3 ideas from this Samvat to next? Mr. Tulsian, you picked up some interesting stocks. Century Textiles, a stock that has done a lot in the last 2 years, but you expect more?
Yes, Sonia. In fact, Century Textile has already almost doubled. If you see in the March, it used to rule at 400, 450, now 900. But there are 4 sectors. Let me just quickly go through. One is the paper division. That has been, showing phenomenal performance. And just to give you the overall, first the overall perspective on the company, for Q2, company has posted an EPS of 3 rupees 50 paise, while in FY16, it was the loss, minus 5 rupees 50 paise. That means see the dramatic turnaround. And thanks to paper division, because paper division has contributed EBIT of 80 crore in Q2 alone. Now come on the realty sector, huge realty space they have been developing in central Mumbai. They have just started leasing out 2 lakh square feet in Century Bhavan at Prabhadevi. And see the rental coming in, or the EBIT coming in from that division alone is 14 crore in Q2 against minus negative 9 crore in the Q1. That means 2 divisions which have shown a good turnaround or maybe a very sharp improvements in the margin are the key factors for showing this EPS of 3.50 in Q2 alone. Cement and I think this textile are going to perform quite well going ahead. So if you take an overall view, the debt of the company is going to remain constant at 5,500 crore. But all these 4 divisions are firing on all cylinders. I won't be surprised to see an EPS of closer to about 12-13 rupees for FY17. But FY18 will really be a big kicker because of the property and because of the cement division. So maybe again, share is now ruling at around 910, 915. And one can look for a gain of about 50 to 60% in the next year, by next year.
So that's stock, of course, Happiness stock, 4% higher right now. Ashwini, the market is in the red. Of course, it happens, on the Mahurat day, the first trade is on the way up, and then towards the end, we tend to close in the red. You warned our viewers about that yesterday as well. But what is the index telling you now? Do you think we have to go to 200-day moving average, test it? Or do you think the market can get away with slightly less steeper cuts?
See, as we all know that, markets operate in contraction and expansion. The bigger the contraction, the bigger the expansion. And since we are sitting at, almost new highs, it's been a long rally from 7,000 right up to 9,000. And probably if you get lower levels, the big money which is waiting on the sidelines will like to come in. So my bet is, 8,000, but it could very well be 9,000, 9,100. We are looking for an expansion. So whenever that expansion comes, just climb onto it and you will get your index returns also. So that is the view, that we are heading into 2 big events which can, make the big money move, Fed rate hike, as well as, this US election. So chances are the market should move in November or December in a very decisive manner.
Okay, well, this is classic Samvat day pattern that we're seeing today play out. First, the markets opened in the green, and now the markets are trading in the red, flattened out completely. But there's a lot more action that you're seeing in the mid-cap index today. So the mid-cap index is up about 0.5%. And a lot of stocks, Dish TV, RBL Bank, Nalco, GSFC, NMDC, a couple of other stocks that are doing quite well this evening. From the frontliners, it's still some of the pharmaceutical stocks like Dr. Reddy's that are under pressure. HDFC is down almost about 1%, and Tata Motors and ITC are also slightly sulking in trade at this point. But let's find out what's buzzing in the dealing rooms as everyone's making that token trade this Diwali day. Yash Jain is in conversation with Dilip Bhatt and Amisha Vora, the joint managing directors of Prabhudas Lilladher. Yash, over to you.
Well, on this auspicious day of Diwali, we are being joined by Dilip Bhatt and Amisha Vora of Prabhudas Lilladher. Dilip, Amisha, before we start interacting, firstly, I would want to wish you and your team at Prabhudas Lilladher a very happy Diwali from CNBC TV 18. And we've been talking to market experts throughout the week. And if you look at Samvat 2072, the year was marked with extreme volatility. The first half of the year wasn't that great for the market, but towards the second half, towards the tail end of the second half, we saw a strong run-up giving us gains of about 10-odd%. What are your expectations from Samvat 2073?
Let me also wish the entire CNBC team as well as all the viewers a very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year. And as what you very rightly said, we started on a very strong wicket, had huge amount of volatility because of global events. And as we stand today, we are still steering at a lot of global events impacting us or the emerging markets also. But I would still think that amidst all that volatility, the year will be a definitely positive year, because the macro is very well set for India, all in terms of be it CAD, interest rate, fiscal deficit and inflation. And with good monsoon, the expectation of improvement in earnings continues to be the key challenge or key point. But we are hopeful, and that's why we feel that the market should be giving more returns than it gave in 2072.
In terms of retail investments, how should a retail investor really play a market like this? Should he stick to the large cap, the blue chips like the HULs and the Marutis, or is it the right time for him to really start finding value in mid caps?
Well, I think it has to be a combination of both, because we have seen that the mid caps have really run away, and a lot of HNI money is also getting chased out over there. But I think, as what I said, a combination of two would mean something like 2 of mid cap or 2 of frontline and maybe 2 of mid caps. So I think within that, I would say that SBI is something which we very strongly feel has got a very good potential, which can give very good returns over the next 12 to 15 months. I think Britannia is another stock which can be played as a good consumption story out over there. And I think in the mid cap, it would be something like, I would say, a Reliance Capital, which is slightly a contrarian bet. That looks pretty interesting from the current levels. And maybe something like a Thyrocare, where maybe it looks expensive, but as the performance unfolds, I think it will continue to look very attractive.
Okay, so that's a lot of stock ideas from Prabhudas Leeladhar. We'll take a break, but we'll thank Ashwini, Sudarshan, Mitesh. Thanks a lot for joining us today. And once again, wish you a happy Diwali, you and your family, a happy Diwali and a prosperous Samvat. We'll take a break and be back with 2 more picks from Tulsi and of course, market closing and some more market opinion.